Hello, I'm the Happy Jow, and I'm kicking off 2016 with my favourite set from 2015. That being the Kwik-E-Mart. I got this set in July, and I've been meaning to review it since, but I guess I never got round to it, obviously. This was my favourite set, Lego set of 2015, with the only competition being, in my opinion, the Ninjago Air Temple, which is an absolutely beautiful looking set. And funny enough to think that the two sets have in common is I don't really care for the minifigures in either of them. It's all about the builds, which of course, ironically, is something that Lego, especially as far as Star Wars and the superhero sets go, it's the opposite, where you prefer the minifigures and then the sets just sort of background pieces, and they're usually mediocre and not that great, and it's just the figures you're after. But here, it is all about the build. It is fantastic, it is super detailed. But before we get to the building, let's take a look at Chief Wiggum's police car. They say every rose bush has its thorns, and well, I don't think that's truer than it is here with Chief Wiggum's police car. In fairness, I do like it a lot more than I thought I would from the photos, just because I've built it and I appreciate the amount of techniques that have gone into this build. But still, this very distinct style that they did for Homer's car as well, in the Simpsons house, and it just doesn't translate well for Lego, I think, and it looks pretty ugly. I'm sure there are plenty of people that do like this design, but it's not for me. Also, I think people would have much preferred to get the orange station wagon that Marge has, because then you would have had the complete collection with the Simpsons house. But we get Chief Wiggum's police car, which doesn't really suit it. I think the station wagon would have been cooler because it's like a completely different style of car. This is very similar to the to Homer's pink sedan, but it does have its good elements. I like the colours, and also you can sit two minifigures in there, which I'm going to do a cut to because it is a bit of a fiddle. Okay, fiddle over, and here's everyone in the car. It is a bit of a squeeze, but considering just how big their heads are, it is amazing that they did manage to squeeze them in. You can remove the top, but you really do have to sort of rip it apart to get everyone in. And there's also a space for a criminal figure that you can stick in there. And also there's a boot, which opens, or a trunk, I guess in this case. And you can throw stuff in there, like bodies and things. Okay, now we got that out of the way, let's get on to the building itself, and it is a lot bigger than you'd actually think. Here's a figure for scale. That's a standard minifigure. And yeah, this thing's big. But it's not even the meat of the set on the outside, it's on the inside. Because on the outside it is very basic, as you would expect. Because obviously it's based off the cartoon. And as far as that's concerned, it is very faithful, I think. There's loads of like extra details for fans, like there's posters, there's a spider pig there. There's a Ned Flanders poster stuck right on the back. There's these little bits of texture that haven't been painted properly to give that sort of shoddy illusion of the place. You got this cool AC unit here, drain pipe, old crazy cat lady, and then all sorts of things here, including some Bart graffiti, which I'm pretty sure they did away with very early on in the Simpsons history. But yeah, that scoundrel, do the Batman, and all that sort of thing. We also have this extra little section, which is where the bin is kept, so you can lift this up. There's the bin. First the Parisian restaurant, and now this. What is it with Lego and bins? But they do a good job of it. They're always blue as well. But it's really nice and smooth. You know how I love them smooth tiles. Nice angles to it, closed properly. And obviously it opens up, and you get two of these Santa sacks moulded in black, which is really nice, to simulate trash bags. And there's the inside. And you got these little wheels that can't actually roll. But yeah, there you go. There's the trash can. It's a cool little detail that they added on the outside. Other details include the payphone. Geez, it's scary to think that some of the people watching might not even know what they are. And above that, no Kwik-E-Mart parking only. Then we got a bike rack. And then those weird purple crates that have always been there, and another no dumping sign, and then more stickers on the windows. And finally for the exterior we got Apu's secret vegetarian garden. Unfortunately Paul McCartney isn't included, but then again neither is Lisa, which is kind of strange. She's not in this set for whatever reason. But it is a nice that they added it. It could have just been left blank, the roof, I would have been fine with that, but getting these nicer details is fine. I really like the build of this air conditioning unit, or whatever it is. You got the skylight to let in light into the store, which is nice. And then you got the entrance, but there's nothing here. Also we have a sticker that could have easily been missed just underneath here. To access the interior, it is a simple matter of just splitting this apart and it all opens up all lovely like. But before I show you the interior in too much detail, I'm just going to slide out the roof and close it back up again, because this gives you a much better idea of the positioning of all the items in the store. And doesn't it look fantastic? So many colours, so many details. It is just beautiful. There's the welcome mat. Then we got our first set of shelves. CCTV camera. Oop, just opened it up by accident. And a bunch of freezers built into the wall. There's the employees only area. Now we're at the back of the store, where you got Rainier Wolf Castle back there. You got an ATM, another CCTV, and here's the actual cash register. And you got some arcade games at the back there. Show you that. But as I said, we'll be going in there right now. Alright, so I'm first just gonna do a look at everything in its rightful place as it's in there, and then I'll take things out that can be taken out to give you a closer look. But that's just all the things when it's opened out. Starting off with the left side of the store, we got the infamous heat lamp hot dogs. This is one side of the cash register that connects to the rest of it later. But you got the donuts. I imagine Homer spends a lot of time here. You got this cool cash machine build with a nice printed element here. You also get loads and loads of these magazines and newspaper prints. You'll see more later. Also a set of 2 freezers back here. Inside there you mostly just have built up items, but there's also printed chocolate milk cartons in there that come from the Friends sets, I believe. And back there we got a coffee machine, which can be removed to give you a closer look. And this is a really nice piece. I love the smooth tiles again. You know me, I love my smooth tiles. Also these awesome specially molded coffee cups here. I believe they were new for 2015. But these are very desirable for sure. And they got a fully molded lid. This isn't a stud or anything, that's just one big molded piece, which is really cool. And then there's these coffee pots, which are just using a clear Lego stud head and a black toothpiece, which is quite creative and cool. And that's it for that one. Just a lot of the design elements are just genius in this set. I learned an awful lot of techniques just from building. I think this might be the most fun I've ever had building a Lego set, I think. It's just so many interesting techniques and clever builds and clever sort of hacks almost. Here we just got, I guess it's like fruit juice or something. I don't really need to take that out, that's pretty straightforward. This is the infamous squishy machine. You can see ties have been put there to give the illusion of it leaking. I'll just slip that back in so you can see. See it? You got another sticker here, just for more fan service. And this is probably the most poorly applied sticker of all time. Oh dear, look at that. That's just terrible. Yeah, that one was a pain to put on. But it's just to simulate this giant squishy cup model, which is cool looking. Behind that we had a Buzz Cola machine, and this one's pretty straightforward, there's not too much to it, just this nice big sticker up here, and then these simulated cups. So everything is just, a lot of these bigger machines are just put in with a single stud on smooth tiles. Makes it nice and easy to get in and out when you need to. Back there, you just have a gambling machine, I guess, and then the 2 new molded squishy cups. We got the green one with Comic Book Guy, but the purple one is exclusive to this set. Right in the back corner, we had these 2 arcade machines. Again, that's all stickers there. They're cool designs though. I really had to use tweezers to apply the stickers on this set, just because there's so many, and a lot of them do require a lot of precision. I didn't do a great job, really. As I said, I'm not good at applying stickers, I much prefer printed elements. But with the sheer amount of different types of stickers and designs in this set, it just would be unrealistic to have them all be printed pieces. So I give it a pass in this case, because I think this Lego set has the most new sort of printed designs than any other set ever. Oops. Cut. Here's another look at that whole cashier area, just all put together. As you can see, this section that I showed you earlier with the hot dogs and heat log lamps just comes together like that. Heat log lamps? Did I just say that? There's the nasty rotten sausage down there, which Appy will probably still try to sell. Napkins, ketchup and mustard, and some more magazines here. This is another new printed newspaper tile with Bumblebee Man on it. That's cool. It's very fiddly. There's a printed cash register that came in the Palace Cinema, so that's not a new piece. And here's a look at all the magazines on the front of that area. Just through the window, this place looks super authentic. It looks like it could just be a real store. It looks really, really nice. I've never actually seen it from this angle, but it looks really good. Very, very nice for a stop motion set, I think. Moving on to the next side of the store, we can remove these shelves here, which we'll take a look at in a sec. To have a look at these pretty involved and intricate fridges that run all the way along this side wall here. A lot of it is just built up stuff, but you get printed orange juice boxes back there. You have a frozen Jasper, which would have been so much cooler if we actually got a Jasper minifigure that we could just put behind that blue tube piece. I put that sticker on badly as well. I think we can actually wide down for him. As you can see, he's just sort of thrown in there. And then got some printed milk cartons. And on this side, we get these wonderful, for a Simpsons fan, Buzz Cola cans back there. Now onto the store shelves, which obviously hold the majority of the products here at the Kwik-E-Mart. The Kwik-E-Mart, yesterday food at tomorrow's prices. I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. But just more funny Simpsons jokes. You got these stickers here. Dry diapers. You got all these different, what I assume to be perfumes here. Just generic packets of foods. And all these wonderful printed candies here. And Chef Lonely Heart's soup for one there. And on this one, you got more chocolate milk that hasn't been kept in the fridge, so yes, I wouldn't eat those. We got a sticker on these dog food boxes. Got all these fruits here, which are being kept on the bottom shelf, so again, I wouldn't trust them myself. And just more generic jars. And this is probably the best printed element in this entire set, Crustios. That is just an awesome, very involved printed piece. That's really cool. It reminds me a lot of classic Lego. You don't get printed elements that are this detailed nowadays. Then finally on this back wall we got an employees only area. And in there there's just a generic grey rat and a hole for it. Closing that up. Again, poor job on that sticker. I wasn't going to point it out, but yeah, that's a bad job there. And then my favourite character, Rainier Wolfgastle, and his power source, roids, batteries, whatever they are. And there's a cool sort of stacking effect here. And of course, that's all stickers. Wonderful. There he is, the man himself. My eyes, the goggles do nothing. And as you would expect, once you've populated the place with your favourite members of Springfield, or those that you got in the minifigure packs, then the place just looks fantastic. Speaking of minifigures, let's actually get on with them. Now, I'm not going to spend too long on them because, as I've already said, the Simpsons minifigures don't really appeal to me. It's just especially molded heads, and then due to the nature of the show, the torso prints aren't really particularly interesting because they have to be kept basic, obviously. And not to mention how blooming creepy they are. I mean, if you haven't already been possessed just by staring into their eyes the last 30 seconds, then you are clearly some kind of god. Because, I don't know, the ones included in the Simpsons house had eyelids, which made them look less demonic, possessed, just... Ugh. Anyway, the actual molding itself is actually very nice. It's very impressive, the printing on the molds. Pulling off Bart's hair in 3D kind of been easy, but they did it, and that's all fine. And yeah, there's just really not much to them, just basic prints, nice bright colours. You got the moulded shorts there, which are really good. Bart's t-shirt is in red, which is odd, but they later changed it to orange in the minifigures. I did a video opening this guy, so go check that out. But yeah, as you can see, look, they've added eyelids to him, and look at the difference in well, alright, he's still pretty creepy, but not as creepy. And he gets a spray paint can, because he's a little rascal, do the Batman. And then here's a purple basket. And now we have the second lot of figures, being Chief Wiggum, Apu, and Snake. Wait, is his surname actually Jailbird, or is that just like a nickname sort of thing? Anyway, I guess they're all technically exclusive, even though Chief Wiggum is exactly the same as he was in the minifigure series, and except he's got sort of jam, jelly splodges on him. And then Apu's got the torso he wore in the Homer and Apu episode. I believe that's what it's called anyway, and that's a great episode. And then Snake, who's the only proper official minifigure in this set, and he looks great. I really like the mullet. You got the earring there, sort of beard. They didn't print the cigarette packets on the arms for obvious reasons, but they did get his snake tattoo, which looks really good, I think. And he comes with the trash bag that you can use as a money sack as well. It's multi-purpose. Chief Wiggum comes with a beating stick, and Apu comes with a broom, which I haven't seen since the old Harry Potter sets when they were used for Quidditch. But yeah, that's the figures. Again, not really my cup of tea, but if you like them, they're cool. And there we have it. That was the Kwik-E-Mart. My favourite set in a very long time. By far, in my opinion, the best set of 2015. Again, matched only by the Temple of Air Jitsu. But I think this might be one of the best LEGO sets in the last decade. It's certainly going to be one of the more memorable ones. While the Simpsons house, I thought I didn't bother buying just because the build was boring and the interior wasn't even accurate. It was just sort of a mess. It just really didn't pique my interest. But when I saw this, when I saw the amount of detail they have crammed on the interior of that, just the perfect representation of everything, I had to get my hands on it. I do love The Simpsons, but I'm not a massive Simpsons fan. I couldn't give you the name of the episode of every reference on this building. But I do really enjoy The Simpsons, though not being a die-hard fan and still paying it's £170 for this. And it just shows how great the LEGO set is. So regardless of whether you're a Simpsons fan or not, you still get amazing building techniques in here, amazing details. You're going to learn a lot, lots of great pieces. The printed cola cans, Buzz Cola cans, all these great elements. It's just all these little details, these little references that they don't have to do, that LEGO really never do. Just the amount of attention to detail with all these references, all the special Simpsons specific prints. The only negatives I can really think of is if you don't care for the minifigures, then they're not going to interest you, but that doesn't matter because you're buying it for the build, and you can't deny that they are very well made figures. They are very nicely printed, very nicely moulded and all of that sort of thing, and they're lovely and colourful. And maybe Chief Wiggum's car, but again, no one's buying this for the police car, you're buying it for the Kwik-E-Mart, and they did that as perfectly as they possibly could have. And most importantly of all, now I have finally, after an entire year, almost 7 months, reviewed this set, I can put it into my city and then do a new city update. So look forward to that shortly after this. So Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I'd rather just have black heads than these things, because black heads look better. So it is absolutely lovely, and I love this head. It reminds me of the Pringles man.